right, let's have another round of applause for Salman. Performing in battle conditions. I like that we're at a Muslims for Peace show and all his material is about his violent dad. It's good to be here. I love performing at shows like this. It's so much of an easier performance when you're performing with people who are just like in the know, on the same page as you, right? Because like where we come from, we have a lot of strange customs that we don't have like over here, and vice versa. There's customs there that are strange. Like one of the customs we have here that's strange to everybody back home is we have in America surprise birthday parties. Right? That's like an American. Like, we don't have that where we come from. We don't have surprise birthday parties. We have surprise weddings instead. That's when you walk into a crowded restaurant, much like this, and everybody pops out. Surprise, surprise. This is your wife. And that's how I got married. I got married several years ago. I've been married for a while now. I got married in 07. 07 I got married? I'm sorry, I got married in 06. I met her in 07. I always trip up on that part. Married for a while now. What else? I'm an American citizen, and I'm an American citizen, and my aunt who's staying with me right now is not an American citizen. And she was sad to learn that I could not help her become an American citizen. She assumed that I would naturally be able to help her because I was already a citizen. Here's the problem, like I was born in America. Right? Like I was educated in America. I don't know any of these questions they're asking on the citizenship exam. And I don't even know why they're asking these questions. These are not things you need to have memorized to live in America successfully. You don't need to have memorized off the top of your head who the 16th president is, right? Who cares? What do you need to have memorized? You need to have memorized that once a year, it is okay to trample over your neighbor to get a TV for cheap. We do that in this country, right? That should be on the exam. You don't need to have memorized that the capital of California is Sacramento, not Los Angeles. Who cares? You don't need to have that memorized. What do you need to have memorized? You need to know that once a year, little kids are going to come to your house, dressed like monsters, and they're going to ask you for candy. So you need to know that that day of the year is Halloween, October 31st. Because if those kids come on any other day of the year, those are meth kids. And now you gotta move. They're gonna come to your house every day. My aunt's working on her English. She found the perfect English tutor, the Jehovah's Witnesses who come to our door. They're so excited, they think they're working her. No, it's the other way around. I feel like we Muslims, we should make a Muslim manual for non-Muslims. I feel like that would help them a little bit, because I feel like a lot of the non-Muslims here don't really know how to talk to us. Like, they just get things wrong. Like, I remember like 2 years ago, for a solid week straight, all my coworkers were congratulating me every day on the Iran deal. I'm not even Iranian. This has nothing to do with me. They weren't even like smooth about it. They were like, I'd like walk into a meeting, they'd be like, oh, hold on a second, Shahryar, congrats on the Iran deal. All right, let's get back to these financials. So I would put that in the Muslim manual. don't just congratulate any Muslim when they're around. And here's what, that would be a don't. Here's what I would put as a do. I would put as a do invite your neighbors to your neighborhood barbecue, to your 4th of July neighborhood barbecue. Especially if I'm the only person in my backyard looking at your barbecue, wondering why I'm the only neighbor not invited to the 4th of July neighborhood barbecue. And then when you see me at the bus stop the next day, don't say to me, hey, Shahryar, sorry, I didn't invite you because I didn't know if you wanted to celebrate America's birthday, right? Because here's the thing, like, we love America more than you, right? Like, you ask anybody in America why they love America, they're like, because of our freedoms and stuff. I'm like, that's great. I like America because I can't get beheaded randomly. Right? I got a better reason. And if you're going to be kind of racist one way and assume I wouldn't want to come to celebrate America's birthday, you could be racist the other way and assume I would want to come for the fireworks and explosions. It goes both ways. I'm married. My wife is kind of an angry person. She is not a Muslim for peace. Very much a Muslim for conflict. She's still mad at me about lying to her about being a doctor. It's been 11 years, right? You gotta let this go now. Yes, I understand your life could have been different. What do you want me to do? No, she really is like an angry person. Like, our fights get so bad, like, I go to her parents' house. They're like, come inside, we'll protect you against that monster. Who happens to be our daughter. She keeps a picture at her desk at work of the man she wishes she married. People walk by and they're like, oh, is that your husband? And she's like, no, this is my husband. And she pulls out my passport, which she keeps. Because if she knew that I had it, I would flee. I got 2 kids. I got a 5-year-old and I got a 1-year-old. And I have 2 kids, 5 and 1, married for 11 years. Like, my advice to anybody young is don't go that long in your marriage before you have kids. It's so annoying to go that long. Like, because all your friends, all your family is always just like, where's the baby? When is the baby coming? When are you? You just get frustrated. You're just like, this Thursday. This Thursday come and a baby will be present. Why do you keep asking me? Yeah, we went too long, you know. Like, I remember, like, year 5, I talked to my wife. I was like, all right, this is when are we finally gonna have these? And we both decided that the right time to have the kids would be when the right series of Groupon deals came out. There was 1 week where they had diapers and children's books, and that was the week then. What else? So, yeah, I got 2 kids, and once you have kids, you start learning things that you had no idea about. One of the big things I've learned after having kids is the quality of my friends versus the quality of my wife's friends. Because we just have all these baby events, and whenever my wife's friends come to these events, they bring these nice, well thought out gifts that are gift wrapped with greeting cards, and like when my friends come, like one of my friends, like his gift, it was like on the back of a Chevron receipt. It just said happy baby, and it was his Netflix username and password. That was a gift. We have a lot of family events. We had a big family event recently, a wedding, my sister's wedding. It was a surprise wedding. People in America are so lucky. When they have their big family events, they just have people just coming from different parts of the state, maybe different parts of the country. When we have our wedding events, we got people coming in from all over the world, from faraway places, from make-believe islands, not speaking organized languages. bringing us strange gifts. I remember somebody came to my sister's wedding and got her a 5-tape VHS changer. What is this? They wanted us to show them around Washington, D.C. These people have not even seen pavement. Why am I going to waste my time showing them around Washington? I just took them around my neighborhood instead. And I just told them it was Washington, D.C. Just took them to this new development where some big houses are being built. And I was like, that's the Department of Treasury. That's the Department of Agriculture. And I got so lucky because the biggest house on the block is coincidentally a white house. And I was super lucky. They were just this fat white guy mowing his lawn. I was like, that's him. That's Donald Trump right there. Very down-to-earth man. So I'm raising 2 kids, and raising kids is tough. And you have problems today that our parents didn't have. Like, our parents had like serious problems, and we got stupid problems now raising our kids. Like one of my big problems, like my firstborn, she's 5 now. When she was born, we took all these pictures and all these videos. It was our first time. My second one came around, just as cute, just as great, but you know, I just cannot make myself just take the same amount of pictures and videos. So now I just spend all my free time deleting pictures of my firstborn. That's where all my time is going these days. That's like a 2018 problem. And it's especially tough because I'm raising Muslim kids, right? Because when you raise Muslim kids in America, you're raising them for 2 different scenarios, right? Right? Like, I'll be like leaving the toy store with my daughter, and she'll be holding her toy, and like I'll be pointing out to her, like, you know, they got this toy for cheaper. They're selling it for more. They're gonna make a profit. That's how they run their business. They pay their employees with their profit. Maybe one day when you run your own business, you'll be doing the same thing. And then we'll get by an SUV, and I'll pull out the rubber pipe that I keep in my pocket, and I'll be like, all right, now this is how you siphon gas from the enemy's vehicle. I work for the government. Work in quotes because we're shut down right now. This is I think my second or third shutdown. Like, the shutdowns are just so. Everybody thinks that shutdowns for us feds is a good thing, but it's just annoying because like when we're shut down, like nobody knows what's going on. We're just kind of standing by. And then we have like really annoying coworkers. So like every day, my coworker, he calls me and he just vents. He's just like, "We're such pawns, man. We're such pawns in this game of chess that Congress is playing." I was like, that's not really accurate, right? You gotta be pretty smart to play chess. We're more like pieces in a Connect 4 game that Congress might be playing. Or like a bird and Angry Bird, like that. That would be a little bit more accurate. I'm gonna tell you guys the saddest government shutdown story. This happened back in the first shutdown, 2013. Government shutdown, October 1st, 2013. At 12:01 a.m. Government shutdown. That night at 3 a.m. my phone rang. It was my cousin Zishan from Pakistan. He was like, "Hey, I'm over here watching the." He's saying this also in an accent, but he's like, "Hey, I'm over here watching the news. I just saw you guys had a government shutdown in America. Is there anything I can do to help?" I was like, "No, we help you." My lowest point as an American. My 14-year-old second cousin wants to try to help. So I work for the government, and if you work for a good place in the government, it's great. I work for the worst place that there is in the government. I work for the U.S. Census Bureau. It's just like the worst. Like, we're so underfunded. We don't even have like professional like @census.gov email addresses. We all just have Hotmail addresses. I remember when I first started working at Census and I saw just how like outdated their equipment was and how much work had to be done. I started regretting my decision to take this job, and I was just like looking sad. My boss came, he saw me worried. He was like, "What's wrong with you? Why do you look so worried?" I was like, "Look at all this stuff that has to be done." And he was just like, "Don't do it." Then he went back to sleep. That was the kind of person that my boss was. He had hired me off of a phone interview only. Never had me in for a real face-to-face interview. He hired me off of a phone interview that he conducted while driving home from work. One of the questions during the interview was, if you worked outside of Washington, D.C. and lived near Baltimore, what route would you take home? And why? We're so underfunded and so here's how bad we're underfunded. We just got BlackBerries. Company's out of business. We just got these BlackBerries, and they're prepaid. Our credit's really bad at the Census Bureau. But they're all excited because it's the first time they got BlackBerries. And this is what this is the kind of person my boss is. My boss's boss asked my boss. My boss's boss asked my boss. He's like, "Do you want a BlackBerry?" And my boss told him, he was like, "I don't even read your emails now. Why am I going to read them on the move?" Everybody thinks he reads his emails because he set up an auto reply that said, "Okay, sure." He read an email as long as he's been there. So I want to leave. I want to leave where I work, and like a good indicator that it's time to leave your work is when you stop wearing your good cologne to work. Like I get out the shower in the morning, I see my Polo Sport, I'm like, these guys don't deserve this. I wear my Adidas Moves, which I got free with my shoes at Foot Locker. Or sometimes I'll wear my Brute on special occasions, which I got on my wedding day. We travel a lot. It's fun to travel, especially with stand-up. We're traveling. I'm staying in Philadelphia right now. We made a trip out of it. Philadelphia used to be the original capital of the United States before they changed it to Washington, D.C. And I'm so glad that happened, because if Philadelphia was still the capital, I know we would be involved in a lot more wars as Americans. I don't know what it is about that place that just makes you want to fight your neighbors. It's a very violent place. My wife is from Chicago, so we travel to Chicago very often. And whenever we fly to Chicago, we like flying United Airlines. Thank you. Are you the United person who beats up the people? Or? So here's what I like about United. I like to fly United International too when I can, because United, I noticed that they started carrying Muslim meals on their flights.
Oh, really?
I started before they only had like the kosher option or the veggie option for the long flights. Now they got Muslim meals, and I got so excited. I was like, good for United reaching out to the Muslim community. Until I realized what's probably really going on, because you know, you get 10, 15 Muslim meals on that flight. I'm pretty sure that flight's not taking off, right? And with good reason. I'm Muslim. I might be scared in that situation as well. I flew an airline when I went overseas. I flew an airline called Qatar Airways.
Yes.
Yeah, Qatar. Here's what I learned about. Here's why you should clap for Qatar Airways, because I learned that on Qatar Airways, if you ask for it the right way, they will bump you to business class for free.
Well.
Yeah, and that just became the goal of my trip. Was to be as charming as I could. On every single leg of the trip, I would go to the kiosk and I would say, "Hi, what's your name again? Preeti? Yes, you are." My name is Handsome. Is there any chance to get bumped on this flight? Took Qatar Airways when I went for Hajj. Hajj, I recommend everybody go on Hajj. You should go on Hajj. Hajj is great. Just make sure you go with the right. Just make sure you go with the right group. If you go with a good group, then it's a great. Like if you go with a bad group, then it's just horrible. A good indicator that a group is a bad group is when on the flyer they spell Hajj H-U-D-G-E. It's a very good indicator, because that's the one I went with. They were the cheapest, and they were just horrible. I remember a guy, like I would ask him, I'd be like, if we get separated, where are we going to meet? He was like, we'll meet at the Kaaba door. It's so funny in Saudi Arabia, they block a lot of websites, and one of the websites they blocked was Men's Health. And I'm on a Hajj, and I'm just seeing all these fat guys in robes, and I'm like, this is the one site we should not be blocking. We need this site. My Hajj went pretty smooth. Everything was all right. The only one bad experience I had was I forgot what it's called. When you're in the tents, that was my worst experience. When you're at the tents, that was because it was Arafat, right? Because you're out in the sun, and man, I got ripped apart by mosquitoes. I was the only person in my group that got ripped apart by those mosquitoes, and I'm pretty sure it's because those Saudi mosquitoes knew I worked for the American government. I'm pretty sure that was what the reason was. After you finish Hajj, you're supposed to stop doing like one sin or something like that. So my sin there, I was like, from now on, I'm not backbiting anymore. I was like, from now on, I was like, no more backbiting. So now, like, whenever I want to talk ill of somebody, I call them up and let them know I'm about to talk ill of them. I'm like, Oli, I'm going to make fun of your weight, just giving you a heads up. I'll finish with this story. So I did Hajj, and after a Hajj, Eid was there. We wanted to go celebrate Eid with an uncle of mine who lives nearby in Dubai. And my uncle, he's been there for a while now. He's adopted well to their customs. One of the big customs he's adopted to is he's got 4 wives. I think that's why he lives in Dubai. So we were going to go visit him on Eid. He's really religious now. So all 4 of his wives fully covered, hijab, burqa, and everything. And we're going to visit on Eid, which is, a festive holiday. So they're all wearing festive colored burqas. They're wearing like blue and green and pink. And my uncle, he's like a fat guy. He's wearing like a nice yellow outfit. And the funny part of the night happened, they lost their car keys. So they were like all running around the house trying to find it. And it looked like a real life version of Pac-Man. Like at first it looked like he was chasing them, and then he ate something, he was chasing them. It was a fun time for everybody. Thank you guys so much. Keep clapping for Salman.